Hey, and welcome to RCRTech Talks. I'm Kelly Hill, Executive Editor of RCR Wireless News, and I'm so happy to have Cedric Foray here today. He is EY's Global Telecom Sector Leader, and we are going to be discussing some of the trends and developments around AI. Welcome, Cedric.
Hello, nice to be with you.
Nice to have you here today. So let's go ahead and just get straight into it. So you work with CTOs at a number of telecom operators and focus on aligning AI strategy with infrastructure. So what do you see as the major challenges facing companies today as they seek to take advantage of AI?
Thank you for your question. So there are various ways to look at the intersection of AI and infrastructure for telco. First, AI solution can help telco optimize the network operation function in terms of efficiency and agility. We can see more and more use of AI to monitor and predict network performance, including fault detection. AI is also used in network planning, so that's important. At the end of the day, it means lower OPEX and CAPEX. The second topic, CTO also need to consider how increased AI usage across consumer and enterprise will impact network traffic going forward, and whether they need to adapt their network strategy, including specific investment roadmap. And finally, telco needs also to think through how they can offer AI services to enterprise via their infrastructure. So this could involve anything from providing connected devices to capture data through GPU as a service, an area where some telco already placing bet. So you asked me regarding challenges. When I collaborate with CTO in the telecom industry, I identify several key challenges telco faces. Some of these challenges will be illustrated in our top 10 risk study that will be issued in the coming weeks. I will highlight three of them. First, legacy network infrastructure. Telecom operators often rely on legacy network systems that were not designed to support AI-driven implication. So integrating AI with this outdated system can be complex and costly. So the first challenge lies in modernizing this infrastructure while maintaining service continuity. The second topic is data, silos, and quality. Telecom company generates vast amount of data from various sources, including customer interaction, network performance, operational metrics. However, this data is frequently trapped in silo across different systems. So company must invest in data integration. And the third topic is talent acquisition and retention. The telecom sector, maybe not the only one, face a significant talent shortage in AI and data science. So finding the right professional who understand both AI technologies and the unique challenge of telecom can be difficult. So telco need to invest in upskilling programs to build this pipeline of talented people. So in summary, while AI presents significant opportunities in network operation, telco must address this specific challenge to really leverage AI at scale.
So switching gears just slightly on this. So there was a recent report that came out from MIT, from an AI group at MIT, that found that only about 5% of generative AI projects were actually delivering business value, and sort of seeing a lot of struggle across verticals with getting them out of the proof of concept phase and into actual deployment. There was kind of an exception around chatbots. People seemed to be getting some value from that. What's your perspective on this? And, does that small percentage reflect what you're seeing in terms of bottom line impacts right now?
It's true that it's a bit disappointed. Our own research, a study called Reimagining Industry Future, where we interview more than 1,600 CTO, find a similar story. So in fact, many businesses are stuck in proof of concept, pilots. 60% of businesses saying they have too many point solutions involving emerging technologies such as AI. So why they couldn't scale? First, because there is an integration challenges. 48% of businesses sit at that domain. And then budget limitation for 46%. So there are also more strategic challenges related to lack of internal skill. And sometimes there is also no business case. So we notice this need for a more strategic approach to improve the success rate of generative AI initiatives. Telco must adopt a strategic approach. So what does that mean? That means clearly defined business objective, ensuring cross-functional collaboration, really having this end-to-end view, establishing clear metrics to measure success. For me, there is also an important question about the make or buy strategy, and we do have a lot of discussion with our client at this moment. Make or buy strategy towards software provider, which are also bringing their own solution. So there is concrete upside in many areas, from customer care, and you were speaking about chatbot, through a specific back office function or like contract management, where we are really seeing upside. I believe that we'll see an increase in successful generative AI applications. The 5% may be a bit tough for the sector. And some of our clients manage to measure clear ROI of their AI investment in their financial results. So we start seeing some financial communication on that topic.
Okay, great. I've been to a couple of data center events recently. I'm in Northern Virginia and near Data Center Alley. And it struck me as somebody coming from primarily the telecom space that in some ways network operators have really sort of been laying the groundwork for AI and not even really knowing it as they've been going along. So they virtualized their networks, they cloudified their networks, and they're moving more and more sort of into the cloud native network functions, applications, etc. So it seems like this opens up the possibility of applying AI in networks and operations in a number of ways. And you touched a little bit on this already. But where would you say that operators are in their journey toward using more AI? And sort of, I'm wondering if you can tease out for us any sort of more examples of where AI is delivering value right now in the telecom space.
So it's a very broad and interesting question. And you are totally right. When telco are moving more and more into a cloud native solution, it opens up new AI use cases. It makes it more simple to manage data. So traditional network architecture may struggle to handle the dynamic workloads, all this topic around real-time processing and so on. So going to cloud native solution can provide scalability, flexibility to support AI initiative. That's a fact. So in terms of internal adoption, when I look at telco, they are clearly expanding beyond customer care use cases. So they are on this process, increasingly focusing on both network and back office use cases. And it's true that network is critical. That's the big part of their OPEX and CAPEX. Overall, there is a very good maturity for telcos in marketing and customer care. And you were speaking about chatbot. I would say that there is a very different maturity from one telco to another telco when we are speaking about back office function and even network operation. And how I could explain the difference, it's often linked to cultural shift. So that means employees may be stressed about how AI will impact their roles, especially in the back office function, network function. So there is a kind of resistance to change and to really deploy these use cases. So telco must really prioritize a change management approach to really emphasize the benefit of AI as a tool that will enhance operational efficiency and improve customer service. So that's really the challenge, how to embark your employee in this AI transformation.
So you've talked a little bit about, managing AI as part of change management and sort of, I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about, what operators need to sort of be thinking about when they're wanting to do AI initiatives and kind of trying to support them, and things that maybe are specific to telco that maybe other types of businesses don't necessarily have to think about. You've already mentioned things like legacy networks and data silos that are existing, obviously workforce issues as well. I'm wondering if there are also implications, especially on the network operations side, about things like being able to roll back changes and, and really to isolate, issues intelligently and quickly. That's always part of telecom. What do you think is sort of unique to the AI journey of telcos?
So as you said, I already described few specific challenges for telco. I think the topic you just highlight around network resilience will be critical. They have to really anticipate what will be the impact of the AI and how they are going to use it. So that's really critical. My view is that telco have a unique position of being consumer and provider of AI capabilities. So for me, that position them in a positive situation. So that's interesting. And then there is an additional topic, which is trust and sovereignty. Everybody is speaking at the moment about sovereignty. Telco are really local based, so it's a very important concept at the moment in AI. We can see the opposition between US, Europe, Asia on that topic. And I think telcos manage to push what I call the responsible AI bar of expectation very high. So that means that position them as strong partner of tech player, the usual suspect, I would say, and offer the telco a strong position in the AI landscape. That will be a positive note for me for telcos.
So I think one other question that I have sort of gets to that. You just mentioned telcos positioning themselves as partners for hyperscalers and tech companies. One of the things that I've sort of been watching as I do some more reporting on data center infrastructure and whatnot is just how high the demand is. The hyperscalers, want to see billions and tens of billions of dollars of infrastructure built as quickly as possible, GPUs, massive amounts of investment going into this. And I'm sort of wondering where that leaves telcos, because they need data centers too, now that they've done all this, cloud transition and cloud native. Are they actually able to get the infrastructure that they need? Especially since in some cases, they've already struck deals with the hyperscalers for workloads or for supporting enterprises or, these relationships already exist, they're closer, but I don't know, if Google wants GPUs, I'm assuming it wants those for itself before it necessarily wants to help a telecom partner, arrange GPUs. So how do you see that sort of infrastructure marketplace playing out right now in terms of telcos being able to get what they need for the AI explorations that they want to do?
That's a very interesting topic, and we are really learning on this topic every day. And I hope it will not be the same scenario as we faced on the data center topic when it was only data storage. Telco managed to get enough space on their data center, and even it was not that critical for them. When it will go to AI, as you said, they will need this GPU for their own use, and they need to consider where they have the right to play. And I think it will connect to opportunity in AI infrastructure. So it will definitely depend on their position in the data center market, even if it's mainly taken by the cloud provider. And as you said, it will also depend on their existing relationship with cloud provider, and they will have to play around. But my view, as I was just sharing, there will be a new partnership, new opportunity linked to sovereign AI. And on top of that, governments will play a role in that space as the telco are an important stakeholders. So according to me, there is an opportunity for telco to develop a more balanced partnership around AI with tech player, as you said. They will be able to bring more localized solution that will be aligned with local regulation and local expectation. So that will be really critical for them.
Great. So a couple more questions to wrap up. So these are questions that I'm asking all of my guests. And the first one is sort of how your company is using AI. And then the second one is how you yourself are using AI. So how is EY taking AI and using it on a daily basis?
Now, I would say that EY is going well on AI. We start our journey several years ago. We invested more than $1.4 billion in an extensive transformation program with human at the center, which I think was critical in our transformation. And what we like to say is that we are acting as a client zero on many AI implementation. And today, when I look at the use of AI within our company, 83% of our workforce completed fundamental AI learning. So that means they are trained. More than 115,000 badges around AI. And when I look at the use, 81% of our workforce are using regularly EY.AI EYQ platform, which is an internal LLM platform. And we can look at the concrete use. I think there are more than 85 million of prompts that has been processed in the last 9 months. And now what we are looking, there is a lot of specific prompts for our different activities that were developed and spread across the organization. An important topic is also development. When we are looking at our EY global developer community, where there is a big impact of GenAI, this community has contributed over 4.1 million lines of code in less than a year. So that means it's really now part of their daily life.
And how is it part of your daily life?
So I use Copilot. I use EY.AI, EY.Q platform. Copilot, it's more to check my everyday communication, I would say, mail and so on. With the EY.AI platform, I like to challenge ideas. It's a kind of sparring partner to prepare some discussion. I'm not an expert in the use of AI, to be sure. And what I like to say is that I'm also learning a lot during my discussion with our junior staff. So we are so lucky to have some junior staff who are using AI in more advanced ways. So without any training, they are using AI to get more productivity, to get more value quickly. And for instance, when I discuss with my strategy consultant, they show me how they can consolidate data from multiple websites in a second. So it's really amazing how they can compile expert interview. So that these junior staff are now training our manager, our partner in this new use case. The important thing at the end of the day, there are a lot of use cases. We also always need to challenge the outcome, the result of all this platform and even from Copilot. And I think that's where the value will be in the future for sure.
Cedric, thank you so much for joining us today, for offering the perspective and the insights. So thank you so much for joining us for RCRTech Talks, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.